Thanks for tuning in to the market wrap. I'm Niraj Shah Nickey Mirchandani, and turned out to be a choppy day of today. I wouldn't say too volatile because the swings were not really very pronounced. But yeah, between 0.5% in the red to being in the green to being flat, it did it all. And that was really the nature of the day. So quick trade takeaways about what happened today. Again, banks participated and largely the move in SBI and ICICI Bank led the bank Nifty higher. So it was a quiet day of trade otherwise. There was some bit of pain that we saw in consumption and crude linked stocks, right? I mean, paint companies and some of the FMCG names did come off a little bit in the session. I don't know if the market believes that the best days of the margins for some of the paint companies may be behind them simply because of the kind of uptick that we've seen in crude prices. And Nifty Metal, which was looking very strong for most part of the day, paid the early gains. Sale, Hindustan Zinc, and some of the others weighed in. But it's a space that has done so well that any profit booking out there seems slightly unnatural. Bring up the Nifty 50 uh, Bloomberg terminal for you, on the Bloomberg terminal, the Nifty 50 performance for you. And as you can see, very flat for the index. M&M did well, 5.5%. State Bank of India on the Goldman Sachs report, 4.5%. Adani Ports and Special Economic Zone, this one did really well for itself. I don't know if the belief is about the port volumes or some bit of corporate activity within the Adani Group. That did well. Some strength in IPC, some strength in Bharti. So there are a couple of other names which looked okay. But Bharti actually almost looked like being the stock of the day, but ended up just about 2% higher. What didn't do well, Bajaj Finance, HDFC. So NBFCs continue to grind lower for the second or the third consecutive day. And that's not a good sign for the Nifty BFSI index, I think the recently launched index. But well, lots of names within the large caps and mid cap universe to talk about. Nicky Johnston. Nicky, good afternoon to you. What stood out in the large cap space?
One counter, which is
no, please carry on. I couldn't hear you first, but yeah, please
so
carry on.
State Bank of India is clearly, one stock which has stolen a lot of traction in today's day of trade, and it's actually added to the Goldman Sachs conviction list of some amount of buying mounting in on account of the brokerage upgrade, which is or the addition that is coming from Goldman Sachs. At this point of time, it has maintained the target price of nearly 383 rupees. Says that the outlook on the Indian economy the macro front is rather improving, and SBI remains to be the most attractive of the lot. And at this point of time, the brokerage suggests that investors are still pricing in a 60% hit to its FY21 estimated book value, which, according to the brokerage, seems to be a little bit on the excessive side. So fears probably have been overdone when it comes to SBI, and the stock, if you look at the trend that has been playing out for the last 10, 12 consecutive sessions, the stock is mostly trading higher. So good day coming in for SBI as a whole. But then I'm going to quickly toss it back to you, Niraj, and ask you about the trends that you're seeing overall in the mid-cap space.
I want to toss it over to the Bloomberg terminal to just try and figure out what the advance decline was in the session today. It'll be interesting to see that. So as you can see, 325 decliners to 173 advances. So the breadth was a bit suspect today. A large number of stocks on the NSE 500 corrected, even though the gainers had pronounced gains. So Bajaj Electricals 14%, Tata Elxsi, splendid numbers and very good commentary. And that stock had a big trending day. 13% was the end price, but it didn't start off 13% higher. So actually had a really good move. Did Tata Elxsi in the session today, and maybe with reason. Aegis Logistics, firmly in the driver's seat, 276 or 277, with LNG imports improving. Maybe that one will do well. Prescorp, Adani Ports, DLF, another day of gains, so another 4% up for that one. Kansai Nerolac, interestingly, was up in the green too. What didn't do well? Well, Bandhan Bank, block trade, 4% lower for that one. Some weakness in Page Industries at 29,000 odd. And Chola, both the Chola twins didn't have the best of days for themselves either. But again, individual names and which stock moved on specific news, what stood out?
Yeah, I'm going to be starting off with Tata Elxsi because the company reported rather good set of numbers yesterday after market hours. The revenue was up by 11%, net profitability rose as much as 33%, and the EBITDA too rose as much as 22%. And if you look at the commentary also was pretty much encouraging when the management said that the fourth quarter or the rather new year would be with a reinforced confidence of a strong deal pipeline across the market and the products that they have, be it in the likes of engineering, design, and digital. So that's clearly one set of strong commentary coming in from the management when it comes to results. Not just Q3 was good, we expecting the Q4 also to be a little better one. And also what we would be, or the stock that rather stole some traction today straight with Mahindra and Mahindra Financial Services, of the whole lot, because Jeffries earlier part of the day came up with a report on NBFCs. It says that it remains positive overall on the NBFC space, and there are multiple levers when it comes to ROE expansion. The asset quality still is at a blind spot, but continued improving, comforting the whole sector as a whole. At this point of time, they've upgraded, Mahindra and Mahindra Financial Service to a buy from hold, and they expect the counter to see collection efficiency catching up with the peers if the rural economy continues to improve. So clearly, we're seeing some amount of gains coming in for Mahindra and Mahindra Financial Services. Also, I'd like to highlight Bharat Forge, Neeraj, because that's fifth consecutive session of gains coming in for Bharat Forge. Apparently, one of the component maker for Tesla. So we're seeing some amount of strength building in the counter. But apart from that, slew of IT now, companies would be reporting in their numbers. What are you picking up? What are your expectations?
Yeah, let's wait and watch. Commentary from both Wipro and Infosys would be paramount to see if the surge in IT continues. And then we have HCL Tech, of course, on Friday. So that remains top draw from an Indian market watcher's perspective. And from a global markets, yeah, the CPI data today from the US and stimulus plans tomorrow be something to watch out for. Our global markets are ready for it, Nikki.
At this point in time, European markets are trading in green, and US stock futures are also indicating to a positive start coming for Wall Street. However, there is a bit of cautious undertone somewhere down the line in European markets, because there could be a chance of extended lockdown in the European region until March. If that were to play out, you could expect some amount of disruption, at least when it comes to investor sentiment as a whole. So we like to watch out for the development, how the new strain of COVID-19 plays out, at least when it comes to European region, and how long will these countries actually extend the lockdown remains to be seen. But with this, it's a wrap. Thank you so much for watching.